Start recording. This is today's attendance. We're missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 students today. What we're gonna do today is quite simple. Today's 27th. We are finishing May and we're gonna start June quite soon. We're gonna start sharing some of your stories. We're gonna have a look at your creativity. Now, modern creativity, yes. Then we're gonna focus on the myths. We're gonna talk about the myths, and then we're gonna have a look at one of the myths that I prepared for today. A very interesting myth. We're gonna have some questions about it, and then we're gonna do a bit of workbook, and then I'm gonna give you a task about myths. Why myths? Because they are narrations, and we are on the narrative tenses, so they work, I think, and they are interesting too. Alrighty, let's go. Let's first have a look at some writing. First of all, I had Mr. Alvaro. Yeah, okay, here we go. So we're gonna have a look with the homework that I gave you, with the pictures. You have to write a story, okay? Your own creativity. The only thing I cared was the narrative tenses, how you use them. Let's have a look. So what we have here is Mrs. Alvaro's creation. And this is how people are sending me the material, so that's good. We have so far Miss Junior, Juaco, Fufa, Daphne, Miss Founders, Raúl, Abril, Martina, Florencia, Jeremy, Javiera, Anais, Antonia, Francisca, Tyler. This is Mr. Figueroa, right? Alvaro and Easy. Missing, I don't know, Bug Dragon, I don't know this one. Miss Angela, when Nico talked to me, yeah. Carlos today, Mr. Chirino, Renato, Joel, Miss Gabe, Mr. Paez, Valentina, Mr. Ramos, Amanda, Consu, Belu, Valentina, supposed to be today, okay? Today, I will wait for you today. Usually I check them around 8, 9, so that would be a good time. So let's have a look. So we have here good length story. Yeah, this is a good length. 1 page or 2 pages is okay. So what we have is the following. Let me narrow this thing a bit. Okay. So we have here that once there was a woman who always went to the casino to try her luck since she was poor. Oh, my phone. Come on. ¿Quién me mandó un mensaje? Bueno, Thank you, Ramos. I understand now. Okay. So there was a woman who always went to the casino to try her luck since she was poor. So everything is in the past. Good. One day, a millionaire man saw her and fell in love with her. The woman quickly became interested in him because he could buy everything. Aquí parece todo lo que ella quería, ¿no? No. Buy everything he wanted. and went to live in a mansion instead of living in a wooden house. So this verb should be in the past. Went to live in a mansion instead of living in the old wooden house. Time passed and now they live together. They had very cute dogs and a very nice party. It seemed almost like a dream. So it looks like it's present, but it's using the past because all the story, all the narration must be something that happened. Okay, not that it's happening. In the middle of the night, the bell rings. Okay, so the bell rang. It needs to be in the past. The woman got up and went to see. It turned out that there were some thieves. Apparently, they had touched him by mistake. She went to tell her boyfriend what was happening, but he was drunk. He's always used to do in the room, so he couldn't do anything. Okay. The thieves, who were already inside the house, grabbed her and wanted to remove the ring she had on. But she was very interested in material things, so she did not want to give it to him. Give it to them. That's right, yes. So she took a knife and killed them all. Oh my god, okay. A few days later, it was a trial and she was sentenced to 10 years for multiple homicides. And inside the prison, she saw a fat man with tattoos who used to say bad things to people and said he would never get out of this hell. So the woman, during the first night of prison, committed suicide with a rope that was in his cells. Okay. So the woman during the very, let me see the last part. A fat man with tattoos who used to say bad things to people and said that, ya, esta parte la arreglaría, está como... A fat man with tattoos who said mean things to people. Aquí. Committed suicide with a rope that was in his cell. His last words were that she would never get out of that hell. That was the first night in prison. Okay. Kind of like that. It should be better. Okay, this is a good example of a story. In general, I would say respects ideas, respect the tenses, and moves around well because of the tenses. So I would say Mr. Alvaro is a good piece of homework. Ándale, güey. ¿Qué pasó? Yeah, and we're going to have a look at the last one, and then we're going to continue. We have Miss Daniela with the stolen whiskey. So this was sent in Google Docs. Google Docs is a bit different. My recommendation is try to send in Google Docs or a Word document. ¿Todavía se les complica mandar las cosas en Google Docs, chiquillos?
Sí, profe, yo ayer tuve el problema, pero creo que también.
Ya, de acá, porque...
Tutorial de cómo hacerlo.
Sí, porque me he pillado que me está mandando una cosa de otra forma. Como la Martina. Oye, no estoy en la clase. Oh, ya, me voy a meter a ahorrar más. Para mostrar. Voy a la clase del segundo medio. Ya. Voy a enviar un trabajo cualquiera. Sin entregar. Entonces aquí me voy, aquí donde tengo que entregar el trabajo. pongo crear, y en vez de añadir el archivo que hice de Word del computador, o del celular, o la foto que hice en el blog de notas, que algunos me han mandado un blog de notas, pongo crear documento de Google Docs. Eso tengo que hacer, crear. Otra vez, le pongo aquí, crear documento. Y me va a hacer un documento con mi nombre y en blanco. Espera un ratito. Yo creo que en el celu funciona igual. Le doy clic, a veces se abre solo, le doy clic y aquí está mi documento. Y escribo acá. O si es que es cómodo para ustedes, lo escriben en otro lado y después acá lo pegan. Lo pegan su texto y ahí luego esto se cierra porque se graba solo. Acá dice que se graba solo. Después lo cierro y le pongo entregar. Y ahí está. Eso es todo. ¿Ya, Martina?
No sabía esa función, lo siento.
No, está bien. Si tú igual me lo mandas en Google Docs. Finalmente es lo mismo. Nomás que llega por correo. Ya. Ok. Vamos allá. Sigamos. The last story. Ay, qué raro decir un error. Ya, Dani. Vamos a ver qué tal ando con los verbos. A ver. A few years ago in Massachusetts, there was a businessman called Paul. Yeah, there was. Había. Bien. He had enough money, but he was a little older. This is in the past. He lived in a mansion in a city with his daughter Valeria, a pretty young woman with a great love for fashion. One day, as was quite common, Valeria was going to get together with friends. So she got up early and to start getting ready. And then she went for a walk with her friends. Aquí está súper, ni un problema, está muy bien. Te sitúa bien en el tiempo, está pasado. El único tiempo que estuve ocupando acá es pasado simple, porque es mal dominante. Sí tiene acá un pasado continuo. Y en este caso como que nos cuenta lo que estaba haciendo con la amiga. There should be... Hay algunos problemas de formato en algunos de sus textos, que no hay mayúsculas, al empezar una oración, cosas así, comas. The week before, in a field on the outskirts of the city, was Gustavo. He was a peasant who lived with 3 puppies in a house in bad state. He hated the way of life, so he decided to make a change. So he took his savings and went to a casino to gamble. That night, he made a lot of money. Okay. Made a lot of money. Went to casino that night, made a lot of money, but a lot. So he decided to continue with it for a while. Otra idea. He spent, ¿está bien? ¿Por qué me lo tiene malo? Yeah. He spent a week, and with everything he was earning, he managed to buy a house in condition. But not in accordance with that. Yeah, no satisfecho. He decided to buy branded clothes to see himself with a higher status. Okay. This way, Monday arrived. El lunes llega, o lunes llegó. Usted tiene, ahí me lo puso en presente, debe ser pasado, porque el pasado simple, al igual que el presente simple que me puso la Dani, igual funciona como una especie de rutina o de normalidad o cosas que pasan, pero en este caso en pasado. The same way Valeria would see, okay, ya esto está raro. This Monday, but Mondays arrives the same day that Valeria would see Valeria with his friends. Ya esto está extraño. With the friends and the mall, and that Gustavo would go for clothes. Yeah, entiendo. Both, when they were leaving the mall, they met. Gustavo gave her new clothes, an image of Hacherito, and Valeria caught their attention. So they started dating. After 5 months, Paul realized that due to his age, he needed an heir, un heredero. So he asked the couple to marry. their love stage. They did. However, sin embargo, a month passed and they realized they weren't for each other. So they signed the divorce papers. Ooh. After all the paperwork, Gustavo had to leave home. But before he left, he stole Jack Daniels' Sinatra Century, which was quite expensive. Paul, upon realizing it, denounced him, emerging victorious and getting Gustavo to go to prison. After a year, otra vez aquí. Me imagino que es porque lo escriben con celular a veces. After a year, Gustavo realized that physical condition was not good, for his muscles were only fat, which generated a lot of self-esteem, falling into depression. Thanks to this, Gustavo committed suicide. Wow, what a sad story. Okay, so this was another good example. We changed a little bit, but in general, it puts us in a very nice timeline. I'd say in general, it's good. It looks good. People who completed the homework, thank you. I will continue working on them again today. So please send them. You guys have good stories, so that's very important. You have good ideas. Let's continue. ¿Tienen alguna duda sobre la tarea? Para los que no la mandaron, ¿alguna cosa que decir? ¿Está muy difícil? ¿Alguno? Andrew, le costó mucho. Martina.
Ah, profe, no sabía si había que marcar los verbos o no, así como poner si este era past simple o cosas así. Entonces, bueno. ¿Pero
Well,
se hacía o no?
I think the instruction says use different colors for the narrative tenses.
Ah, yeah.
Some people did it, others didn't. But anyhow, I checked them anyway, so it'll be all right. For example, I'll just have a quick look. We're not going to read it. It's a very nice story, really complete, and it contains all the narrative tenses with different colors. I know it's a hard job to do that, but in the end, I will say that it helps you to see graphically what you're using. So in this case, they have different colors. So that's one idea. It more than for me, it's for you, because in that way you can see what you're writing and how it works. Okay. But thank you, Andrew, for the comment. I don't want this to work. Okay, let's move now. We're gonna move to a different direction now. We're gonna talk about myths. So probably you've studied this in philosophy or maybe history. Maybe you can tell me with your own words, what's a myth? What's a myth? What are myths? You can help me out with this. Let's see. What's a myth? Any idea? Oh, damn, don't be shy.
Mitos, ¿no? Que, no sé. Pero mitos, ¿no?
Yeah, mito, yeah, that's true. But what is it? Yeah, mitos. Okay. Myths. What are myths? What are they? Okay, let's give examples. Okay, let's first go for the number 3. Do you know the name of any myths? Do you know any names of myths?
Rómulo and Remus.
El de la Llorona.
La Llorona, un mito, como una leyenda.
Buena pregunta.
I think it's a legend. Thank you. Romulus and Remus is a myth. Yeah, true. Any else? Okay. I think we have to come to other ideas. So myths, in this case, myths are stories, okay? These are stories. Interpretations about what, for example? Stories about what? If I say the myth of the serpent from the south of Chile, Caucavilú, the myth of, for example, Sisyphus, the myth of Pandora's box, the myth of Aphrodite, the myth of the Minotaurus. So what are these stories about?
Seres sobrenaturales, dioses.
Okay, yeah, all right, very nice. So it's a story about how the world works, including gods, yes, supernatural.
Son seres fantásticos más que nada los que se cuentan.
Supernatural creatures, supernatural and fantasy creatures. Yeah. And why do we know myths? Because they are very old. Why do we know them? Why do we study them? Why do we study myths until today in the schools? Are myths incorrect and false stories? They usually have an element of truth. Tienen algo de verdad metido, sutil. Okay, busca explicar algo. Okay, do you know the differences between myths and legends? For example, La Llorona and the myth of, let's see, Midas. Do you remember Midas? The King Midas, I think it's called. King Midas? Do you know that myth? People. Okay, no idea. So I'm gonna change this one. I'm gonna put it like this because then later we may have a look. Do you remember any myths or any other that you know?
Añañuca.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yes, that's a beautiful one actually. What else? The myth of Añañuca. Yeah, I know that one. Good.
Quimera.
The legends of the chimeras. Yeah. Actually, I think it's like this. Oh yeah, chimera. Yeah, that's true. Okay, we're gonna have a look, and maybe we can learn something new about myths, because yeah, I know it's a difficult topic, but we can have a look at it now. What we're gonna do is we're gonna listen to a video, we're gonna watch a video. It's quite short, and from the video we're gonna answer some questions. This is a famous myth of Prometheus. Do you have any idea about this myth of Prometheus? Do you know anything about Prometheus? Prometheus. Yes, no.
Él era el que hablaba con nosotros, con los mortales, ¿o no?
Por ahí va. Yeah. So we can write here that he was. ¿Qué es lo que era en realidad? ¿Qué era?
Un titán.
Human beings. Yeah, he was a titan. Good. He was a titan. He was in contact with human beings. Yes, good, Martina. He's very popular. We're gonna have a look now at the video, and we're gonna get some ideas and vocabulary from it. We'll be working with myths during the next classes, so it's quite relevant that we learn from them. Probably we're gonna spend more time on them. So let's move. This is the myth of Prometheus, okay? Let me see if I'm sharing my screen with sound. Let me see. I'm gonna start sharing. Okay. Quizás suene fuerte, me tienen que avisar y le bajan el volumen un poquito, ¿ya? Lo voy a dejar con subtítulo. Are you people ready?
Sí.
Sí, profe.
Yeah, okay. No me dejen solo, por favor. Yeah, here we go.
Before the creation of humanity, the Greek gods won a great battle against a race of giants called the Titans. Most Titans were destroyed or driven to the eternal hell of Tartarus. But the Titan Prometheus, whose name means foresight, persuaded his brother Epimetheus to fight with him on the side of the gods. As thanks, Zeus entrusted the brothers with the task of creating all living things. Epimetheus was to distribute the gifts of the gods among the creatures. To some he gave flight, to others the ability to move through water or race through grass. He gave the beasts glittering scales, soft fur, and sharp claws. Meanwhile, Prometheus shaped the first humans out of mud. He formed them in the image of the gods, but Zeus decreed they were to remain mortal and worship the inhabitants of Mount Olympus from below.
Yeah, okay. ¿Cómo vamos ahí? ¿Se escucha bien?
Sí.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna give some questions. So let's continue.
Zeus deemed humans subservient creatures, vulnerable to the elements and dependent on the gods for protection. However, Prometheus envisioned his crude creations with a greater purpose. So when Zeus asked him to decide how sacrifices would be made, the wily Prometheus planned a trick that would give humans some advantage. He killed a bull and divided it into 2 parts to present to Zeus. On one side, he concealed the succulent flesh and skin under the unappealing belly of the animal. On the other, he hid the bones under a thick layer of fat. When Zeus chose the seemingly best portion for himself, he was outraged at Prometheus's deception. Fuming, Zeus forbade the use of fire on Earth, whether to cook meat or for any other purpose. But Prometheus refused to see his creations denied this resource. And so he scaled Mount Olympus to steal fire from the workshop of Hephaestus and Athena. He hid the flames in a hollow fennel stalk and brought it safely down to the people. This gave them the power to harness nature for their own benefit and ultimately dominate the natural order. With fire, humans could care for themselves with food and warmth, but they could also forge weapons and wage war. Prometheus's flames acted as a catalyst for the rapid progression of civilization. When Zeus looked down at this scene, he realized what had happened. Prometheus had once again wounded his pride and subverted his authority. Furious, Zeus imposed a brutal punishment. Prometheus was to be chained to a cliff for eternity. Each day, he would be visited by a vulture who would tear out his liver, and each night his liver would grow back to be attacked again in the morning. Although Prometheus remained in perpetual agony, he never expressed regret at his act of rebellion. His resilience in the face of oppression made him a beloved figure in mythology. He was also celebrated for his mischievous and inquisitive spirit, and for the knowledge, progress, and power he brought to human hands. He's also a recurring figure in art and literature. In Percy Bysshe Shelley's lyrical drama Prometheus Unbound, the author imagines Prometheus as a romantic hero who escapes and continues to spread empathy and knowledge. Of his protagonist, Shelley wrote, "Prometheus is the type of the highest perfection of moral and intellectual nature, impelled by the purest and the truest motives to the best and noblest ends." His wife Mary envisaged Prometheus as a more cautionary figure and subtitled her novel Frankenstein, "The Modern Prometheus." This suggests the damage of corrupting the natural order and remains relevant to the ethical questions surrounding science and technology today. As hero, rebel, or trickster, Prometheus remains a symbol of our capacity to capture the powers of nature. And ultimately, he reminds us of the potential of individual acts to ignite the world. TED Ed is a nonprofit. If you
Okay, did you know about this myth? ¿Lo conocían? Bueno, Martina sí, pues lo mencionó. Any other person? Well, not really. Seems like not. Okay, there were some vocabulary words I would like to go about. It says that Prometheus, his name meant foresight. What would be foresight? What would be that word?
Es como una visión del futuro.
Yes. Como premonición. Yes, that is foresight. So in the case, Prometheus means premonición. To entrust, in this case, Zeus, the god, the great god of the Greek, he entrusted Epimetheus and Prometheus the task of creating humanity. So what would be to entrust? What's the meaning of trust?
Creer, confiar.
Yes. Confiar. Les confió la tarea, les dio la tarea. So Prometheus, he created humanity from mud. With his hands, he modeled, yes, barro, yes. And then he made them look like the gods, and they worshipped the gods. Humanity worshipped the gods. What is that?
Adorar, adoración, algo así.
Yes. Okay, good. So they deem, I can remember this one. Era asignado, considerar esta la cosa. But in this case, it's mentioned that Prometheus created the humans with a higher purpose. What is the purpose?
Propósito.
Yes. A higher purpose. In this case, the purpose was to be creative, to ignite a civilization. They said how did he hid the flame in a fennel. A fennel, well, with the picture we can see better. A fennel flame. Fennel flower, ahí está. ¿Cuál es esta plantita? ¿Cómo se llama? I don't know in Spanish of this flower. Fennel.
Hinojo,
¿Hinojo?
creo, o así me salió.
Sí, parece que sí. Hinojo. Hinojo. Sí. Puso la flama en una flor de hinojo. Hinojal. Hinojo. So harness, pride. So one of the things, harness means to control, and pride. Continuously, Prometheus wounded Zeus' pride. So Zeus, he forbade the use of fire in the world. Zeus forbade the use of fire in the world. So people had no fire. What is that? This is no fire for anyone in the world. We have it here in pictures. In this case, we can have forbidden, prohibido, yes, but the verb is forbid. Forbid, forbade, forbidden. Okay, forbid, prohibir. So no fire for humanity. One of the punishment, what's the punishment? His punishment for Prometheus.
Castigo.
Yeah, was to be enchained to a mountain where a vulture will visit him every day. What is vulture? This is a vulture. What's a vulture?
Buitre.
Buitre, yes. Buitre. Okay, with a vulture would visit him every day and he would eat his liver. What is a liver?
Hígado.
Yes, every day for eternity. They say that probably Prometheus was mischievous. What is mischievous? Or that he was a trickster. They are very similar. Mischievous attitude. What is that? Well, look at that picture. How would you describe a mischievous attitude? Look at that face. No, that one, no. This one. What would be mischievous?
Embustero.
Embustero, pillo, ¿no? Este como pillo, trickster.
Travieso.
Travieso. Embustero, yes. So they mentioned that probably Prometheus was like that. But for other people, he was like a hero, right? But explained the creation of humanity. So that's why, because he's a myth. Because explains how humans were created from mud and how humans became intelligent. Let's see some of the questions. So what were the Titans? Let me zoom it up. Ah, too big. Okay. What are the questions? Okay. So what were the Titans? The Titans were what? Let's see some of the questions from the video. The Titans were what?
Es la D.
Probably the group of giants. Ah, sorry. Okay, ready. So the guess him answer. Oh, wasn't it?
Es la A, ¿no?
Yeah, there we go. So the most ancient Greek gods. So before Zeus, before everything that we know, the Titans were the gods. Okay, that's before Zeus and Poseidon and Hades. In Greek, the name Prometheus means ABC, D. ¿Qué significa Prometheus?
La C.
Yes, foresight, we mentioned it. Thank you, Connie. Yes, let's continue. So Zeus wanted humans, Prometheus he had made. Progress, to worship the gods, to be independent, to question authority. ¿Qué quería de los humanos? Zeus.
La B.
To question authority? Oh,
No,
this
no, la
one.
B.
La B, la B.
Yes, worship the gods, yeah. Que adoraran a los dioses, nada más. Prometheus stole the fire to defy Zeus. Defy es desafiar. To help humans, to trick humans, to defy Zeus and help humans, to defy Zeus and trick humans.
Para ayudar a los humanos.
So what's the meaning? Well, to trick. Ayudar a los humanos. ¿Y desafiar a Zeus? ¿O no? ¿O le da lo mismo Zeus?
Esa está más completa, esa está más completa.
Pues, no, yeah. Okay, punishment. Prometheus was tortured by vultures, was sent to the Tartarus, was stripped of his powers.
La A.
Yep. How does Prometheus' views of humanity's purpose differ from Zeus? ¿Qué diferencia entonces tenía? Esta es la última que vamos a hacer. ¿Diferencia tenía la visión de Zeus con la de Prometeo? De la humanidad, obviamente. What was different? How does Prometheus' views of humanity's purpose was different from Zeus? Any ideas?
Él quería que los hombres fueran perfectos y como que buscaran la evolución dentro de sí. En cambio, Zeus quería como la adoración de ellos, no le importaba lo que hicieran o no.
Okay. Thank you, Martina. Very good. Zeus only wanted humanity to worship the gods. On the other hand, Prometheus looked for perfection on the evolution in human civilization. Good, good, Martina. Oye, ¿cómo? Ah, puse worship, nada que ver. Okay. Okay, let's leave it like that. ¿Conocían el mito Prometeo? Parece que muy poquitos. Okay, people, let's continue. So we're gonna have the myths. Pause for a minute. We're gonna pause it for a minute. I'm gonna talk to you about the myths in a minute, but we're gonna go back now to a bit of a review. I'm gonna come to the book on the page 18. 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 I wanted to ask you a question. Did we do these activities? ¿La hicimos? Ya en la parte del workbook, la parte gris. Did we do these activities? People.
Me suena, pero no estoy segura.
Te suena, pero no estás segura. Te suena, pero no estás... Yo igual tengo la duda, no estoy seguro. Pero yo sé que no hicimos la página completa. Pero necesito saber desde dónde. Creo que hicimos la 1 y la 2. No, no estoy seguro. ¿Alguien recuerda? ¿O alguien las tiene marcadas? Porque necesito saber esto. Parece que no. Andrew, Daniela, Consu, Renato. No. Connie. No, parece que no. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's see. Let's do it quickly. So this is only a revision to start finishing with the narrative tenses. So this is only a review. What we have to do is just choose the correct verb in the story. So help me out. What would you choose? He tired because he something. What would you go for? Imagine.
Was.
Okay, he was tired because he
Had been running.
had been running. Yes, that's good. Yeah. So we have an action that comes before. So he was tired now because before that he had been running. My mom angry.
Was.
My mom was angry because I same idea. Had been watching TV all the afternoon. So before my mom got angry, I had been watching TV. So she was angry. What about the next one? My friends football when I habían estado jugando. So friends had been playing football for hours when I people
Arrived. Arrived.
when I arrived. Thank you. What are the others? But thank you. So we for the concert for an hour when the announcement.
Were waiting.
Had
This
been.
had been waiting. We had been waiting for an hour when they
Made.
made the announcement. So what they do in here in this activity is contrasting the past simple and the past perfect. So what they're doing is, it's quite simple. This is the action number 1. This is the action number 2. Él había estado corriendo y por eso estaba cansado. Esto pasó primero y después le pasó esto. Así estaba ordenando. Aquí igual, habíamos estado esperando horas hasta que después dieron el anuncio. Entonces, así va. Primero es la acción 1, present perfect, past perfect, y después acción 2, past simple. Eso está haciendo acá. My sister before she
Had been learning.
had been learning French for 6 years before she
Went.
went to France. Yes. Entonces, antes de ir, había estado aprendiendo francés. And we swam, or we had been swimming for an hour when it rained.
Had been swimming.
I've been swimming for an hour when it started to rain. So it's the same idea again. This is number 1. We had been swimming, and then it started to rain. So it's the chronological order of events. That's the only idea from this activity. Okay. A los que lo están trabajando, se la dejo ahí para que tengan la correcta. This is the page number, oh my God, 18 del workbook, por si acaso. $18 del workbook. Ya. Y yo creo que alcanzamos a hacer la última. So we've had these events. So we have her car was driving a tunnel in Paris when it crashed. Diana, Princess of Wales. These are remarkable events in the history. So he was sailing across the Atlantic when he hit an iceberg. We have a movie about that. What event was that? Titanic, yes. So people were dancing on the streets after they heard he was finally free. What do you think? Free, he says.
Freedom for Nelson Mandela.
Nelson Mandela, probably, yes. And then we have, the world was watching on TV when Neil Armstrong stepped on the moon.
Apolo 11.
Apollo 11, yes. The crowds were waving at the president when they heard the gunfire. Ooh.
Kennedy.
Yes, this is a terrible event. When Amelia Earhart was working one day, Captain Rayleigh asked to fly to the UK from America. To fly from the UK from America. So that would be the first woman to fly. And then while people in the neighboring town of Pripyat were sleeping, a nuclear reactor exploded.
Chernobyl disaster.
Yes, there is a TV show about Chernobyl. It's very good if you want to have a look. Okay, so eso es lo que está acá. ¿Tienen todos el libro?
No.
No.
¿No? Ya. Voy a intentar sacarle foto a esto para mandárselo para que lo empiecen a hacer. Ya. Uy, hoy día estaba muy callado. Sí, bueno. Thank you to the people who answered. Thank you to the people who gave some participation. Andrew, Tony, Mr. Juaco, Martina, of course, Javiera. I think Yanela was as well. Going through to I think it's 10 o'clock. Have a good day. Before that, I need you something to be done for the next week. It's very simple. I need you to go during the week. I mean, today you will see the homework on the Google Docs, I mean, on the Google Classroom, but I need you to pick, a myth. Pick a myth, okay? Pick a myth from the internet, and then I need you to put the story, in a Google Docs document. Again, I repeat, I need you to pick a myth from any part of the world, put it in a Google Docs document, and do the same with the narrative tenses. So in this way will be easier because myths are already constructed. So just write it down on a Google Docs document, color the tenses with a different color, and put a picture of the myth. Please, I need that for the next class. Okay, dokie?
Sí.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, people.
Teacher.
Yes,
¿Podría poner la hoja donde va escribiendo por fin?
yes. ¿Qué parte necesita Javi?
La primera y la del vocabulario.
Esta es la primera. Bueno, acá le dejo la tarea. Pero se la voy a subir de todas formas. So Google Docs document, write a story about a myth from anywhere in the world and highlight the narrative tenses. Ya. Este es un proyecto, así que la primera parte del proyecto hay que hacer esto. Esto es lo primero. Ya. La última, el vocabulario, Javi, acá está. Te lo voy a explicar un poquito. Bueno, ahí sí.
Ya, teacher, gracias.
Ok. Ya, yo creo que era muy temprano, por lo cual algunos se quedan callados, ¿no?
Sí, yo creo que sí.
Gracias, Javi, por ayudarme contra mi depresión. Gracias, chao. Hey, people. I'll see you around. Bye-bye.
Chao,
Chao,
teacher.
profe. Cuídese.
Bye. You too. You too. Bye.
Chao, profe.
Bye. Voy a llorar. Chao. Bye.
Chao.
Chao.
Adiós.